All right, so without further ado, the new Foster Marketing Coach program is something we've just started for our basic and our pro users. You know, those of you who are a deluxe, premium, or elite already talk with Tom or Chad or Gretchen every month as part of your package, but our basic and pro users have now been assigned a Foster Marketing Coach, and this is no additional charge. It's just part of the service we're providing you to help you be successful. And your coach will meet with you once a quarter to answer any of your questions, make any recommendations, and take a look at your website and your analytics and see if we can help you out with your online marketing. And again, we're going to meet every quarter with you, and in between those meetings, if you have any questions or issues and you need help, you can always reach out to your coach. And of course, we still have Karen right here in customer service to help with any changes you need to your site. So that's just something new. I want to make sure everybody in the user group is aware of this program. And if you haven't met with your coach yet, let Karen know in customer service, or let me know, or you can even open a ticket in DSS using that Need Help button, and we'll go ahead and get you set up with a meeting with your coach. All right. So the next thing we wanted to do is some people were wondering how they could tell if they've been hit by the Panda or the Penguin update, because there was actually a recent update to the Panda changes from Google called Panda 3.5, and the Panda update was more about content, the quality of your content, and Panda 3.5 was intended to target pages that just weren't very good quality. And that came out around April 19th of last month. And then the Penguin update hit, which was a big one, and this one was intended to target sites that had spammy, low-quality links. And so there were some links on your site that may look really spammy, and it also hits the links coming into your site that are very low quality. You know, if you've been participating in any kind of link schemes, or if anyone who did link building for you was a little shady, that would be a reason you might have gotten hit by this update. And I've included a link here to an article by Search Engine Land, and I'm going to send this presentation out when we're done so you'll be able to check it out. But this is a pretty good overview of Penguin recovery tips. So between Mindy's presentation and this article, this is really good information. And we can actually show you in the significance of the Penguin update. This is from SEO Moz, and you can see the different algorithm changes. Their opinion is that Panda update you can see the level of significance. Penguin was much more significant. And just judging from the chatter on the SEO blogs and the webmaster forums, Penguin has been a challenge for a lot more people than Panda was. And this is especially true of people who may not have realized that they had spammy or bad links going to their website. That's why it's been so significant, because you may think you're doing everything right, but maybe a few years ago you paid somebody to do some linking and that was a little shady, and now you're getting hit. And you can actually look in your Google Analytics to see if you've been hit, because you would notice a drop in your traffic from your organic Google searches if you've been hit by one of these updates. And you can tell if you started to go down around the 19th, this may be Panda related, and if you take a hit around April 24th, that's going to be more Penguin related. And I included the slides. These are in Mindy's presentation too. I stole all this from her. And it actually shows you the steps you take to go into Google Analytics so you can see if you have that drop from your Google traffic. So you can see over here your traffic sources. So from traffic sources, you go to search and then select organic. And then you're going to see that screen. This is from the middle. It by default shows you keywords, but you can actually click on this little link here, source, and you'll be able to see where your traffic's coming from, where your organic traffic's coming from. And if you click on Google, you will see your traffic statistics only for Google. And then if you change your dates, you can see the full date range. You can see if anything happened around mid-April or if anything was near the end of April, and you can kind of tell if anything happened. Now, unless you're doing anything egregious, you most likely won't be hit, but we have had some folks who have been hit. And if you do think you've suffered a traffic drop from the Penguin update, what you need to do is take a look at the backlinks coming into your site and take a look at your content and see if you're doing anything that looks, are any of these places you're getting links from, do they seem pretty shady? Is your content, are you doing anything spammy with your content? Are you stuffing keywords everywhere you can? Do you have a lot of footer links that are full of keywords that are linking to your own content? anything you might be doing to try to game the system, if you undo that, that could help your rankings. But there's nothing you can do. You just have to fix what you've done and then wait for Google to recover your site naturally. They say that you can fill out the form, the reconsideration request with Google to ask them to take a look at your site again if you think you were hit unfairly. But if you actually were doing something, maybe even without realizing it, that caused your traffic to drop, you just have to wait because they'll continue to update. Do we have any questions so far? All right, the next question we've gotten is one of the things that came up with the Penguin update were footer links. And we have a lot of clients, this used to be something that actually helped. You could put footer links up that had keyword strings in them and link to areas on your site that were specific to that keyword. And we have quite a few clients who have done this over the years, but now this is something this is something that's got some feedback. All right.
And Danielle, by the way, I want to add this. Jim chimed in and said April was his best month ever. Thank you for sharing that, Jim. I want to point out the flip side of that, and we've seen some spikes going the right way. Not just drops, but just spikes going the right way. And Michelle, we have your feedback again. Here we go. Thank you.
I muted Michelle. Sorry.
Okay. We've seen some spikes in the positive direction on some sites in that time frame too. So it's not like just people just getting hit, but if you're doing it on the flip side, you're being rewarded for other people trying to game the system. If that makes sense.
That's true. If you were actually doing everything right, like Jim said, you could actually start doing better, especially if your competitors were gaming the system a little. So with these footer links, the question I want you to ask yourself, I want you to start asking yourself, for everything that you're doing to your website, is, am I doing this to help my site visitors? Is this going to improve my user experience? Is this going to provide better information? Is this going to guide them somewhere else useful on my website? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and do it. Now, if you're doing something to your website with the sole purpose of trying to improve your search rankings, maybe you need to rethink that, because there's a lot of tactics that you might be doing and unwittingly hurting your rankings. And, we've seen some practices that used to be acceptable in the past, like these footer links. A lot of people have done them, but that's now something that may be hurting you. And the message that we believe Google's trying to get across is that you shouldn't be doing anything to increase rankings. You should be doing things to help your site visitors. Provide really good content, provide easy-to-use site navigation, just give good information. And when you're going out to get links from reputable sources with a good, good quality content themselves and have them link back to you. Get out into your community and participate in community events, and those folks may give you PR, they may give you links back to your site. Think more about how you can really help the people you're trying to do business with. Don't think about Google, don't think about SEO, because each time you try to game the system, eventually it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. So as far as your footer links go, if you have one of those long string keyword strings that you have in a footer, and all it's doing is it's just like your practice area names over and over again with the geolocations, and you're linking to pages on your site, just take that down. That's not going to help you, and it could hurt you. Now, we also have some folks who link to other websites in their footer, and if you're doing that because it's going to help your visitor and you want to give them another option somewhere else they can go to get information, that's fine. But again, anything you're doing just to help your rankings, you may want to take that down just in case it hurts you in the future. Any questions about that before we move on? All right, another question that we hear quite a bit is, why am I getting so many contacts from the areas I don't serve? And we've heard this quite a bit in our coaching calls. The thing you have to remember is that anybody can find your site. They can be in any country, they can be in any state. They may really like you or think you're cool, and they'll fill out a contact form and want you to help them. There's nothing we can do about that. There's not much you can do about it either. So the best tactic is to instead of worrying about the people who are filling out your forms that you don't want, try to attract more of the type of traffic you do want. And we suggest you do this by writing geo-specific content for the areas you're targeting. So one thing you can do to make this easy on yourself, make a list of like 8 to 12 towns or cities you want to target, and that's kind of an arbitrary number. You can, pick what you're comfortable with. And then we want you to go down that list, and every time you write a piece of content, write a blog or find some news from that particular area or do a library item for folks from that area or an FAQ. Write it just for that area. Don't try to optimize every single piece of content you have for every area you're targeting. If you're in a big city, don't just target the big city because you're competing with everybody else who's there. Look for the surrounding areas and target those towns. And if you're methodical about it and stick to adding content that's very geo-specific, you're going to find that you're going to draw in more local traffic. And this is a tactic that's worked well. We've been doing this for a couple years for the clients that we write for, and this actually does work very well. So I really recommend don't worry about the people who are coming to your site that you don't want. Focus on drawing in the contacts from the areas that you want. The other thing you can consider, if you get a really good contact or it sounds like a good case, think about referring it out to another attorney. Are you a member of a group of other attorneys, a mastermind group, or something like that, and you know somebody in that area, you could maybe suggest sending the case to them and finding a little network of your own where you could refer cases out. And that's something you could do. Any questions about this one? All right. So a couple other questions we've gotten. This is some of the newer features in DSS, and there's still a little bit of confusion with some folks. So I wanted to show this again. Two of the big items we've done recently in DSS are the email campaigns and the author tags. Now the email campaigns, just for everyone knows, we did show this last month, but a lot of you weren't here. And you now have the ability in DSS, for any offer that you have in DSS, you can actually set up an email follow-up campaign so that you can nurture the leads that you're getting for your offers. And this is definitely something you want to be doing. If you're not using some other system like Blue Orchid or Infusion or Constant Contact, definitely get into DSS and set this up. And I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. So here we are on the Foster site. And if you go to Books, DVDs, and Offers, you can see I'm on my dashboard right here. So under Books, DVDs, and Offers, if you want to see the offers you already have, you go to Edit Offers. And this will show you all of your offers. And you can see here, we've actually split up the pages now. You have Edit This Offer, which is your landing page on the website that describes the offer and has the contact form. And we also have that thank you page. That was always there, but it's now its own screen, so it's a little less confusing. So you can edit your thank you page in DSS. And this is new right here. We have Edit Email Template. And if you click on that, it takes you to this very plain page. And you don't have any follow-up sequences set up here. So you just click Add Template. And then this is just a very basic email that you can set up. So you can give it a title, and this is for internal use. This is for you, so you'd want to name it like First Step in My Auto Accident Book Sequence, or whatever you want to call it. And then you have the email schedule. This tells DSS how many days after the initial contact you want that email to go out. So remember that when somebody fills out an offer on your page, if you're using DSS, they get a thank you email immediately. So they'll get that one right away, and then it's up to you how soon you want to touch them again. Do you want to do 1 day or 5 days? It really depends what kind of offer you're sending out. If you're doing something like DUI or criminal defense where people are making decisions very quickly, you'd want to send out a rapid sequence of emails to try to capture their attention. Some other types of offers, estate planning maybe, or auto accidents, you could do a slightly longer sequence. And you can set up as many email sequences as you want on one offer. So you can have 3 days, 5 days, 7, 14, whatever, as much as you want. For this field, this is the email from. Now, DSS by default will use whoever gets the contacts, because you have DSS set up to send an email to you every time somebody fills out a contact form. And you can, if you do not fill out this field, whoever is set up to get the contact form, it'll look like it's coming from them. So if you're a single attorney and you do all the work yourself, don't worry about this field. But if you have certain people who are processing your emails from your offers, you can actually put the attorney's name in or some special intake email or whatever you want So when this email gets sent to the person who filled out the form, it'll look like it's from whatever you put here. Then you have your email subject, so the subject line of the email, and then the body, and you have the TinyMCE text editor, so you can actually put in HTML code, add your logo, images, whatever else you want. You can format the email nicely in here, and then you can turn that particular step on and off, it's active or inactive. And that's pretty much it. It's very straightforward. And then you just save it when you're done, and you can go add another sequence, or you can edit this one later. And what you want to remember is when you're sending out these follow-up emails to people who request your offers, consider sending them a couple links that go back to your site for relevant articles that they can read that are related to the offer that they requested from you. And this is a good way to keep them engaged with you and to drive return visitors to your website. When the search engines see that you have returning visitors, that's a good thing because it's a signal that your site is worth visiting again and again. So definitely try to link them back to relevant content on your site. And then once you get these email sequences set up, you can test it yourself. I always encourage clients to order their own books to see how it looks. Go onto your site, order each one of your offers, make sure everything looks the way you want it to, and then you can check the email sequences. You'll start getting them too. That's a good way to test what you've done. Does anybody have any questions about the email sequences? All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about is we still get some questions about the author tags. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Google search page. And you can do this too. If you look up DSS author tags, I've got personalized search turned on. 1 second. So you'll see near the top of the search results, you'll see how to use the new author tags in DSS. And I like to do this demo because you can actually see what you get if you set up the tags correctly. You've got your picture from your Google Plus account. You've got a link to your Google Plus account. And then you can see more articles. If you've tagged other articles on your site, people can see them all by clicking here. But if you want to make sure you're setting up your DSS author tags correctly, all the information is right here in this article. So I encourage you to go look for it and check it out. But basically what you need to do, the first step is to go in and set up your author tags in DSS. And I've seen some people using them, but not all the fields are filled out. So I'm going to show that real quick. So you go down to your bios, edit bio. Let me go down to mine. There's the one. I'm editing my bio. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have an email address set up. And you want it to check to display on site, because one of the things Google's looking for to confirm that you're the author of the content on the site is looking for your email address. And then down here at the bottom we have the author tag settings. And this is where you want to put in the links to your various social media accounts. And we have 5 different accounts that you can put links to. And if you see on the example here, this is what they look like. And if you don't want to use one of your social media accounts, this little icon just won't show up. But you can see what I've done here is we have Facebook and Twitter, and some of you have your own personal Facebook and Twitter accounts, and you can use that if you use it for business. Or in my case, you see I maintain the Facebook and Twitter accounts for DSS, so I've just used those links, not my personal accounts. For LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn profile. And then for Google+, you want to make sure that you're putting your personal Google+ account in there. I know a lot of clients have set up Google+ accounts for the firm, but if you want to make those author tags work in Google search, you need to link to your personal account that has a headshot of yourself. And it needs to be, because you're telling Google with your Google+ account, I'm an author on this website. So make sure you're setting this up to your Google+ account. We also have a link for YouTube. And again, here I have the Foster Web Marketing YouTube channel. And you can put, the firm's YouTube channel, or if you have one of your own, either way. And then the next field I want to point out, this is one I don't see filled out all the time, the author tag summary. You have 170 characters in here to put anything you want about yourself. You can make it funny or serious. I just have my job title. You can put whatever you want in here, and then it'll show up under your name. So again, 170 characters to say whatever you want about yourself under your author tag. And then the next thing you need to do, you can see on the article here, then you'll tag the items on your website with your author tag. And I'll actually show you a new feature in DSS that we have now. You can actually add an author tag to your practice areas. This is something we just did last night, so it's brand new. So for example, if I wanted to say I was the author of our website design practice area, I'd go in to edit it. And then just like every other content item, I have author on this page. And now I can pick my author tag, and then I'll appear at the top of the practice area. And again, one of the great benefits of this is showing when your practice area comes up in the search results, whatever attorney is responsible for that practice area, you'll see their picture in the search results. And most of the content on your website can be tagged with an author tag. The last thing you need to do to make this work is to link your author information with your Google profile. And this is a very important step. And Google has changed their instructions a couple times, so I went ahead and just linked to the Google instructions so you can go check them out. Because I see, I think I got the wrong link. You've even changed the link, darn them. All right, I'll have to go fix that.
Oh, 5 minutes ago.
Right? I can't tell you how many times I've edited this article. All right, make a note of yourself.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. All right, so I will update the link, and you can actually, I'll send you to the page on where Google tells you what to do. And essentially, if you go into your profile, you have to tell Google, I think it's the About page. I've changed the look here too. But you tell them what website you write for. See, I'm a contributor to, and then Foster Web Marketing is the website I write for. So I had to add this in, and then you also have to add your work email. And this is what links to you. That's why you have the email on your author tag. This is what links the two together. So you tell them where you write, and then you tell them your email. And this needs to be the same email that you use in your author tag. That's on your bio profile. If you follow those steps, it will work. All right, do we have any questions about the author tag? Oh, we're going to start from the beginning. Okay. All right. So I was going to open it up before we looked at the DSS update, see if anybody had any questions they wanted us to attempt to answer. Today's session. Yeah, Michelle, I saw that, sorry, I can't see the chat here. Yeah, Michelle, I'm recording the session, so I will send out a recording of this when we're done. And I'll also send out Mindy's Penguin presentation and this little presentation I did for the user groups. You'll have all of that information and you can watch it later. And Jim? All right, you're good, Jim? Yep, okay. All right. Any questions? Now's your chance. Whoops. All right, I wanted to tell you about a few updates we made to DSS since the last user group meeting. One thing some of you might be interested in is that we have a new RSS feed. We actually have an RSS feed for every single type of content on your site, but the most useful one is the feed-all.xml, and this is actually a feed of the last 20 items from your entire website. And I would encourage you, if you guys are trying to attract RSS traffic, we can put a link on in your header or somewhere in the sidebar that's a link to feed-all.xml so that people can follow your site. It used to be that your blog content would go through the RSS feed. That's feed.xml, it's just your blog content, but now anything that you add to the site, people can see if you do this feed-all.xml. So if anybody, it's hard for us to go and add links to your site globally, so we're going to do this on request. So if you would like to have an RSS icon that links to all of your content, just let us know. We'll go ahead and do that for you. And just tell us if you want it in the header or on the sidebar or whatever else. Just open a customer service ticket in DSS. or send customer service an email.
I'll take it.
One of the other things we did recently was to have a location.kml file and a geo sitemap created for. Okay, Susan, we got you.
I got Michelle too.
Okay. And so we have these new location.kml files and geo sitemap files, and this is to help with your local search. The KML file is actually the coordinates, the map coordinates used by Google Earth to tell Google Earth where your office location exists. And we've dynamically generated that for all of our websites. For every single office address you have entered in DSS, you now have a location.kml file that tells the mapping software exactly where you're located. And that's not something you're going to see on the website. That's one of those back-end changes we made to try to help with local search. Another thing we've done is given you the ability to add an author tag to your practice areas. And Larry Buckfire just asked us yesterday if we could give you the ability to add an author tag to the home page, because we've seen on some other attorney sites that they actually have their author picture coming up for their home page, so we're going to go ahead and do that next. But if you have practice areas, those pages often show up in the search results, so I definitely encourage you to author tag them. The next thing we've done, this is a little more SEO related, we just blocked the robots from crawling your sitemap page. And the last one I'm hoping will be helpful. We have color-coded the dashboard, the DSS Dashboard, so you can see your high bounce rate pages. So whenever you log into DSS, the first screen that you get is your dashboard. And if you scroll down here, we show you your top 5 landing pages. And we're actually going to be making some changes to give you the ability to see more, because it's, we only show 5 here, but we're going to pull more so you can expand that. But what we tried to do is give you some guidelines, because people always ask us, what's a good bounce rate? Our general guidelines for an attorney website are if it's under 75%, you're okay. And you can see here, under 75%, you're going to see green. And then from 75 to 80, you might want to think about making some changes, because that's not a great bounce rate. But over 80%, we're showing in red, because you definitely want to address those pages. Seeing high bounce rate, that means that people are coming to the page and they're leaving within 15 seconds. So your goal on these high bounce rate pages is to encourage people to stay longer. And you want to have a good bounce rate on all your content pages, because a low bounce rate is another signal to the search engines that you are providing quality content. And when people click on a link to your site, they're actually staying there to read it and engage with your website. If people look at your website, go, ooh, and bounce right off, that's not a good signal. So we have a couple pages here on our own site that we need to go fix. And there's a variety of ways that you can keep people on a page. First of all, make sure the content's good. That should go without saying. Secondly, you can add a video to the page, especially if it's a compelling video that's obviously related to the topic on the page. Most people will sit and watch a video, and again, all you need is for them to stay more than 15 seconds. That's a good way to keep them there. And then you can also add, within the content at the end, you could add links to related articles to give them more to look at on your site so they can click through to other areas. So sometimes you have to experiment with a variety of ways and wait to see if it helps keep people on your page. But again, the biggest thing is make sure that content you're putting on that page is good quality, it's easy to read, it's answering the question, and that should help improve your bounce. That was the last item I had.
Make sure I didn't miss anyone. I got Susan and Michelle.
Yep. That's my shopping list for this month. That was pretty quick compared to our usual meetings. Can I answer any questions? Have landing pages. Oh, you can't see this right here, Andrew? The top landing pages? That might be, we'll take a look at your account, because this is linked to the Google Analytics account that we set up for you. Can you make a note? We'll go take a look and make sure that's hooked up correctly.
Yeah, even my analytics isn't showing up like it had at first. When we made that change, it was showing up, but now that I'm realizing it, it's not there either. So something might have happened.
All right, that's possible. All right, we'll take a look and get that fixed for you.
Daniel.
And then go ahead.
This is Susan. I was wondering, and this is, I don't know if you want to finish answering his question or not, but when you had the on your updates, you showed that you guys now have restricted, I guess, I'm going to mess up the term, but is it the box from going through the sitemap?
Sitemap.html, which is different from the XML sitemap that they use to index your content.
I mean, why does that make a difference? I just didn't understand why that was.
It's like a standard practice. The HTML version of your sitemap is intended for the visitors.
Oh, okay. So it's just something that I really don't even need to really worry about.
Right. The sitemap that matters is the XML, and all of you, a standard practice when we set up a Foster website is we set you up with an XML sitemap, and we submit this to Google Analytics. And we also update the sitemap every night. So we're constantly telling, you can see there's a last modified date here in this code. So we're telling the search engines, hey, this link was last updated on this date.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that matters. So this is just, we don't want this crawled because it doesn't provide any useful content. This is just for people who are looking for a way to see what's on your site. It's the XML one that matters.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Everyone's so quiet now. It's like the group got bigger and quieter. Well, I can tell you about, I'll tease you with some updates that are coming. The DSS team is currently working on integrating the SEO Moz API into our dashboard. We're going to try to see if we can show you your domain ranking, your page rank for your home page, and your Moz rank, the SEO Moz ranking for your website. And we're also going to show you how many links you have coming into your site and how many total links you have on the site. That's all information you can get from SEO Moz. If any of you use Open Site Explorer, which is SEO Moz's tool, which is great, it's a paid tool and you can see a lot of information there, but we're going to try to pull some basic information about your site from their API and show that to you right on the dashboard. And that will give you another indication of how the quality of your site is doing. And we're also working on a way to compare your statistics to the Foster Web Marketing Network. So when you look at your domain score, you can actually see where you rank with all the hundreds of other sites in our network, and that'll give you an idea of whether or not you need to improve. Another thing we're working on is creating a contact management system within DSS. As you know, the ETA on those updates, the SEO Moz API, I believe it's going to be within the next month. I'm pretty sure it's within unless we find some kind of issue. You never know. But we have the API working. It's just a matter of getting it to show up properly on the... You can't see beyond the top landing pages right now. I'm answering questions on the GoToMeeting in case anyone's wondering. You can't see anything more than 5 right now. You actually have to go into Google Analytics to see more. But we are going to work on expanding this on request so you can actually see more because it would be more useful that way. And again, the next thing we're working on also is turning DSS into more of a contact management system. A lot of our clients use external systems like Infusion or Constant Contact. So when you get a contact in to DSS, you may be putting it in a spreadsheet or some other management software so you can keep track of the people you work with or come to your site. And we're going to change it so DSS can actually store that information about your clients or your potential clients or anybody you want, and you can add notes and you can change the information and you can actually add content straight to DSS or upload spreadsheets with contact information so you can actually use DSS. It can be your one-stop shop for contact management. We are also working on giving you the ability to create tags for those contacts and then giving you the ability to create an offer for each of those tags. So this will give you a lot more flexibility with sending out these email campaigns and these email sequences, because right now you can only do the email sequence for people who request your books, but you may also have people who call your office. You may have people who do your live chat, and that comes into DSS. You may have them fill out the contact form, or you may have some other way that you want to put them into your contact system and then start an email campaign so you can nurture all of those leads. And that's a pretty big undertaking. We've been working on that for a while now, and I'm hoping we're going to see, in the next few weeks, we're going to see the first phase of that roll out. So hopefully by the next user group meeting, I'll be showing you some of that functionality. But again, it's a really big change, so it's going to take us a little while to bring it out in iteration.
I got on the call late, so a lot of my questions are now starting to filter in my brain about some of the stuff that I was seeing because I got on late.
Okay.
And I ask questions now that they're starting to filter in.
Sure, go for it.
On the Google tags, or
The author tag?
yeah, the author tags.
Right.
You showed yours on how you use the DSS as your tags. Is that a practice that we should have? Because you know, I'm trying to set up Tim's profile, and should I do it all like, you know, LinkedIn we have a company, you know, of course we have our Facebook page, but then he also has his profile that's separate. Should I go ahead and use the company ones for him? Do you think that's probably wiser, except for the actual Google+?
Yeah, that's fine. You know, it depends how comfortable you are with, you know, LinkedIn, go ahead. Link me or whatever, what's the right term? Friend me on LinkedIn.
Add me as a connection.
Add me as a connection, there we go.
Add connection.
So, so that's fine, because me as a human being, you're more than welcome to come add me to your connection. But I don't know if you were here, but Facebook and Twitter for me is DSS, because that's the accounts I manage. And for you, it would make sense to have the Facebook and Twitter for Miley Legal, because you're trying to draw people to those sites. You know, I want you to come follow me on Facebook and Twitter too. Follow DSS. And then for YouTube, if you have a channel for your firm, again, it would make sense to use that.
Okay. I was just making sure. I worry that Google will ding us on everything now. You know, I didn't know if they wanted that to be personal or if it was okay if we link them to business stuff.
No, this we did for, you know, we looked around at different sites of what other websites put on their author tags, and this was a decision we made so that, you know, if people like your content, it's a good way to get them to engage. You know, social is the next big thing. Not the next big thing, it is the next big thing now. So any way you can get to get people to engage with you socially, you want to do, and that's why we thought it was important to include these links or give you the ability to add them. You can keep going.
Okay. And then I saw where you had it on the practice areas, and all we have to do now is just go in and add the author tag for those. And then you're also going to be doing that on the main page site as well, so eventually?
Yeah, on the home page. The only issue there is we just started talking about this, and I don't think the author tag is going to look right up top on the home page. We may put it down at the bottom. It'll still work, but I think it would look better if it wasn't the first thing someone sees on your home page. So
yeah,
that's where we are with that discussion right now.
I agree. That's very true. And then that's all I had right there. I just started, you know.
Now, Susan, for you, remember, if you're on a version 1 site, which you are, you have to ask us to set up the author tags, and I know that you're upgrading.
Yeah, ours upgraded, though, because of when we went to our mobile. They went ahead and did a short upgrade, so I do have the author tag option.
Okay, good. Well, then you're all set. But for anyone else on the call, if you have an older site with us, you may not, the author tags don't work out of the box unless we set them up for you. And we have no problem doing that. It's not hard to do. All you have to do is, you know, submit a customer service request. We'll take care of it. It's very quick and easy. Jim, yes. So Jim Hacking is asking us, I have this one little article I wrote one time, and it leads to almost half of my landings. Do you think I should write more about that topic?
Yes.
Anybody want to answer that? Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Obviously, that's... And what you can, now that you know this is a popular topic, you can, you know, one of the recommendations Mindy makes is to think like you are a magazine. And what the magazines do, they focus on really good quality content, and they're also very good at kind of spinning that content. So if you have an article about, I know that you have an immigration practice, green cards, for example, you can create FAQs, you can blog about it, you can look for news about that item, create additional library articles, anything that's going to draw in additional traffic. The other benefit is that once you write additional content about that one popular article you have, you can put links, go back to that original article and put links to the new articles and say, like, you know, read more about green cards and link to these additional items so that people know if they're already interested in this topic, there's actually more on your site for them to look at.
And you said that I had someone walk in my office when you were covering it, so I apologize if it's being repetitive to other people. But the landing pages, you guys are updating those?
We are, the landing page, I was showing landing pages, the offers. We have the drip campaigns on them now, the email sequences.
Okay.
I think that's what that was about.
Okay. I wasn't sure because you said that there were some new features and it was just about the drip campaigns then that you guys are attaching to the landing pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other landing page, we're going to, on your analytics, if that's what I was talking about, you have your top landing pages. We show you 5. We're going to show you more in the future if that was.
We're getting ready to start. It'll actually come out on July 1st. A new campaign with a new company that's here, and it uses like 4. It's like an AdWords, but it uses 4 components, which is it does the retargeting, and then the like bot behavioral type of targeting, things like that. There's like 4 components to it, and those were just 2 of them. But and I've got to create some landing pages specific to those. So I was just wondering if there were any new updates on the actual landing pages, because that's going to be rolling out for us July 1st, and I don't have any of my landing pages even started yet, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, if you're doing something special for a campaign, you can add. There are 2 ways to handle it. You can create a library page that you can use as a landing page, or you can create an offer that you use as a landing page. Either one will work. If you look at the way that your offers, your report page is set up, go on your website and look at the design of what the report page says. Any other report or offer you add will look very similar. And then go look at a library page, and you can see how it's a little different. It typically has the header. And the nice thing about setting up an offer, if it's a page you want people to contact you on, you have that longer contact form, and you have more control over the contact form. That's another thing I didn't mention. The change to the offer page is you can actually pick and choose which fields show up on your offer pages now. There's a little, I can show you real quick. So if for whatever it is you're doing, Susan, if you're trying to get them to actually contact you.
Yeah. I mean, capturing their information is what we're going to be, that's our goal. We just haven't figured out what we're going, if it's just going to be all book related. More than likely, that'll be like the biggest draw, but we have 3 different types of campaigns to do with this project. So I've got to figure out, but it's definitely all going to be geared towards capturing their information.
Okay, yeah, then you definitely want to create an offer page. And take a look at how your report page is set up. And we actually have the ability, if you look when you're setting up a report page, you'll see at the very top it asks you select the media type for this offer. And you'll see that you have all these different options. We actually have the ability to tie different designs to different items. So if you wanted to make landing page, for example, if you wanted that to have a certain look and feel, we can actually change the way that page looks. Because, every time you add an offer, they all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask us to, we can, if you want to have you want to have the header, whereas most landing pages don't. If you want to have different sidebar items show up, we can do that for you and tie it to landing page. So every time you pick landing page from that drop-down box, the resulting page on your website will have that look and feel with whatever content you add. So that's something to keep in mind when you're deciding how to do this.
Yeah, because I was worried about that. I was almost thinking about using I guess now Infusionsoft has landing pages, but I really want to get one that is very fill out your information, most important thing kind of look, where it has even using the what is the copy boosters or that
I know what you're talking about.
Sorry, I've got so much going on in my brain right now. I can't pull words out right now for some strange reason. I apologize.
Okay.
But I was trying, and I was thinking, how am I going to do that with the header so set with everything that we do? So that is a great idea. That's good to know right now.
Yeah. So again, just take a look at your existing page and then tell us what to pull out or to add in, and then again, every time you pick that item, the page will look like that.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Don't be shy. All right, well, if there's no more questions, I will go ahead and stop the recording. And like I said, I'll send out a recording of the meeting and the 2 presentations. And the next user group meeting, we're always the 3rd Thursday of the month at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So we will see you then. And if you have a topic you want us to cover, let me know. You know, we did the How to Research Your Competitors last month, and I can do more like this where we talk about common questions, or if there's a specific thing you want us to cover, just let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking so many
Thanks,
questions.
Danielle.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Danielle.
Appreciate your time. Bye.
Now everyone talks.
I know. Bye.
It's the formal end of the show wave.